Have they tried to mould you in any way, though, if people ask you to do things to change the way you look or speak or behave?
Yeah, one of them tried to mold me into a big triangle shape, and I went, no. Nah, you know, I've got my own style. I've got my own style, and I wrote my own songs, and, you know, if someone has so much of something already, there's very little you can add.
Yeah.
But what is a mistake without the lesson? See, the best teacher in life is your own experience. None of us know who we are until we fail. They say every man is defined by his reaction to any given situation. Well, who would you want to define you? Someone else or yourself?
Greetings, greetings. Greetings, greetings, all divine beings. Amy Winehouse, we are now conducting the reading. I thank you all for being a part of the tribe. Thank you guys for a great year. 2026 is on the rise.
Yes.
I hope you guys are in the right state of mind, okay? Let's ring it up for that one time. What do you mean, Witchy? The right state of mind is preparing for anything that you want to happen in your life that is prosperous, changing your ways that have gotten you nowhere or negative outcomes, things of perseverance when it comes to self, and no matter what people say and do, actions speak louder than the words. You can talk all day till you're blue in the face, but real change starts with the reality of self and being aware. All right, babes? So I hope you guys are having a thankful Thursday. We're getting into Amy Winehouse, and this kind of slipped through the cracks because of Lady Gaga. But we are focusing solely on her. She is a Virgo. Let me through the doors. I do have two decks here. So I have the Horror Path deck, and then I have my traditional colorful neon tarot deck. It's just a basic classic pixie cut. All right. And we're going to use the Horror Path deck to kind of see where we're at. We're going to split 3 here, obviously. Future is thin, no disrespect. Again, she is a Virgo. I have the 9 of Horns. Because the emotion or the thought or the action may just be clouded because she's had anxiety from the very start. This is something that's seated in her, and I feel like it's a spirit that had her trapped once she was opened up to it, once she kind of accepted something here down the hatchet. That's what it feels like, you know, the throat chakra. All right, spirits, can you tell us more about the Virgo Lady Gaga? First card we have is the Ace of Skulls. All right, so these are feelings, okay? Because she has past love from the people, strangers, just her craft in general, I believe that she had a lot of intuition here that she wasn't able to use because she had a parent. She had somebody over her that kind of took control of her mind, took control of her thoughts, and most of all, took control of her career because I see something here covering the sun. Let's find out more about this past. All right, we got the 9 of Skulls, a lot of feelings, and we are in the cups. So, I feel like somebody got their wish that came true. This isn't her. This doesn't come from anybody that is pumping the same blood or has the same heart or whatever it is on the chest. There's nothing here that really feels a balanced connection. So, somebody in the present got what they wanted from her. It is an evil feeling, an evil spirit, an evil energy. And then we got the Chariot in reverse to let you know it's cancerous. But not only that, understanding something just didn't go forward with her involvement. A lot of water is here, flushing her out in a sense. But they wanted to go forward without her, even though she's the talent. I don't know where that's coming from. And then we got the Queen of Bibles. To be honest, this is pure vibrance. This young lady thought everything positive when it came to like optimism, when it came to the brighter side of life. She really had something in herself that was really assured. And she also, whether this is here or now, but it is in the past tense, she had somebody by her side, really and truly, whether it was a pet or somebody she talked to that gave her like this fire, this inspiration. It definitely lives in her. And then we have the 2 of Bibles. something was flexible. I feel like it's working with getting rid of her so easily. Excuse me, my apologies for the miscommunication. Because this crow is here, it obviously feels that this was not like done to just her. This is like a faith that is in the industry that they do to a lot of people. So I feel like she just got lined up also, in a sense where they wanted to take, they just took blood, to be honest. The final card is the Eight of Skulls. With the Eight of Skulls and the feelings, and this being the only one pretty much across the board that's focusing on this feelings. There's a lot of feelings here. That's forever. So this young lady was paralyzed. She was trapped. She was convicted. And really had like dark secrets that were hidden that I believe were brought out. These were not things that she kind of wanted to have her career based on, but this is a spirit. This is something heavy that feels that was brought about her. And they, as easily as they brought her in, it's just like the spirit came in and did what they wanted to get rid of her as well. No disrespect. I want to pull away from these, okay, because this is really, really dark right now. So we're going to keep focusing on the cards that we have in front. Tell us about the Ace. I'll pull them when I need to. Tell us about this Ace of Skulls. All three have popped out. We got the King of Cups. We got the 8. And then the 2. So when I told you about this forever thing, that's really what it's coming through. A masculine was extremely devoted to Lady Gaga's career, what she could do, the resource that obviously didn't feel any more useful here. So I'm going to start with this 2 of Pentacles. Because something wasn't stretching anymore, or they couldn't use this young lady, they played her for not only a complete idiot, but also a complete fool. Because they brought in some sort of change that I feel not only abrupted her mood, her finances, but the way that she think, okay? The way that she wanted to think. And this devotion from this masculine man that's here, it feels like they've done this over and over again from people who may have just not wanted to cooperate with them, not go through these hardships. Something feels very tough, very insignificant that she may have wanted to walk away from here in the past. And when you want to let go, when you know the truth and you found it out, or something just doesn't no longer feel good to you, you want to do what you want to do, and you may want to get away from it. And this young lady had somebody who was extremely wrapped in the emotion of being her advisor, her diplomat, and basically she couldn't walk away from what she wanted to in the past, and it may have just been this career or not to work with a particular individual. And then we have the 3 of Horns. There's the separation right in our face. Now this is an effort that feels challenging. It feels like, oh, you have to come together or collaborate in some way, but it's not really a connection. It's blocking a lot of energy and authentication. So I feel like this is all past tense. There also is another person here that is playing a game on the heart space. The Ace of Spades is right on the nose here. And I feel like they snuffed her out as far as a weakness. Talk about the 9 of Skulls. The year that we're in is 9. Truth is going to be revealed, and next year is the number 1. 1 we are circling back to, and 1 is the individual, all right? We're going to get into that at another time, but here we are with the 8 of Pentacles, the 7 of Wands, and the 5 of Coins. So we got 2 Pentacles here. Money is a big focus with this evil individual that not only took from her, but had a plan all along to kind of feel like drained from energy, drained from bank accounts, drained from original soundtracks, notes, anything that was written as far as her being an artist. This is still going on in the present. Miss Winehouse may still have, excuse me, composition notes, books. There's something here that's still relevant that people are grasping from. And in that sense, you know, it's getting cold because right now they may be running out of luck, time. They've tried to stretch something for as long as they could, like they did her, right? But now I see there's some sort of loss, there's some sort of struggle with keeping something up here in the present. All because of this devil, all because of this individual in the center. So if you can look at this whole story here, how it's showing, this person that was really devoted into getting rid of her or putting up a new defense for her life or an obstacle, that's just what it really feels like. They're having that here now with their current life, with their current bank account, or the artist that they're representing that's not obviously Amy Winehouse. So whatever they've taken from her, they are still using, but it is now running short in a nutshell. And I don't know why it has always been a competition with this young lady. I don't know why they've always not looked at her as just this golden new energy in her own lane, in her own vicinity. Why couldn't it just be her, left alone? Why did they push anything to kind of ruin her? Well, we've got the 8 and then we got the 10. Heart 8, heart 10. 1 upright and 1 in reverse. When you take from an individual who's creative and you use them up or you burn them out, you no longer need them around because they don't want to either continue that path, they're waking up, or they just feel like, okay, they've done too much and they're going to shoot you out. Not in a sense of, metaphorically speaking, okay? But this young lady is chained to the soul of a voice that is like no other. So that brings fire, that brings passion, that brings flame, but it also brings gold. And this woman had the ability to not only keep some sort of record history, some sort of log. She has a notebook that somebody was stealing from. They were still doing that in the present. But like I said, now this happily ever after and the feelings is now running thin. Because creativity is kind of losing its edge. And also something that they were naive about in the spirit of this. I feel like the realm that they have to pay back. Could you tell me one thing with this 8 and this Pentacles, an idea, sign, zodiac of what artist today is taking from her now? You got strength, Leo energy. In that strength, that's action and fire. So this could be, their sun sign also, whoever this individual is, or the emotion that they operate in. But whatever's going on is energy that they're trying to really harvest from, and it's really no more coming in. Confidence was really here, and they overcome something because she has a lot of things tucked away, but most of all, words. She has a lot of words that are still present. Tell me about these words that are present. And also tell me about this Chariot that no longer can go forward. You got the Knight of Cups, more feelings. Well, there's somebody here that's still giving grace or has grace. Or is still some sort of idealist. Money is still involved here. This young lady has a, first of all, she's loved. She's loved by many because of not only the talent, but I felt like now we see a relatable thing where people could feel welcomed, okay? So if this young lady was like the new pillar of an artist, a woman, an innovator, whatever this is, she was supposed to be loved, and that's the end of the completion that we are now living here in the future. Her purpose was kind of this path that was taken, but I feel like it's a legacy and root that is forever going to be here, and that's what stays. Now, you have people who are very, very wealthy, very, very privileged, like I said, that are losing the instinct, losing this money magnet that's kind of been hidden. And I feel like whoever this is no longer this sort of idealist that they thought they were. They thought that they would have something forever to fill up these cups because they were protected by the unforeseen, behind hidden walls, behind hidden gates. So if they felt that this was going to continue on because they had words, inspiration, or something they stole for days, it's kind of running out thin, and Amy Winehouse is all over it. Our page of Bibles is here. This is fresh ideas that really want to come forward, but they don't know how to get it. There's two people that hold something. When I told y'all they have a book, a record, notes, she kept the log. She still has songs that never came out. Something's going on here with that. They just really have faith that this will work out in an evilish form. Like there's so many different spirits that are walking around still through this whole ordeal, who have given her stuff, who have offered her, I feel like, fake love that really wasn't going to grow. They just pulled. They wanted to hold her heart, right? So this is all like hot, but it feels very, very cold for some reason. Tell me about this Queen of Bibles here. Now, in the spirit of understanding passion, she was very passionate about her talent. Like I said, she wrote for days, or just had like things she could do in the studio immediately. It's all tapped in the energy. It's her brain. All right, so we got the Page of Pentacles. Somebody knew she was diligent. Somebody knew she was dependable. Regardless of an addiction. There we go. Thank you for the devil right on time. Regardless of something that they knew she had a hidden kind of relationship with, and they pushed it out. They didn't really give her a choice here. But they also knew that this authority, this masculine who keeps showing back up, that her life was this ability to make music or keep making them money, even her not being on earth. So I feel like they really took her innocence here. She was an innocent child, even being addicted to the substance or whatever, was really beating her down. They knew the kind of spirit that she was because it came from a different form, especially her voice, her throat. See how that's right on the chest? And I feel like now that, with this devil, this addiction, that they, opened up the demon that she was trapped in her through temptation, right? That's really what got her caught up. Sorry. That's really what gave them some sort of instant gratification, because they knew they could chain her to something to get rid of her much easier with all the power and authority that they have. But this didn't give them any reason. That's what's really getting the fire that feels cold. I don't understand the reason that she just had to go. Why couldn't there be two worlds? You got the Page of Horns in reverse. Well, because you can be inspired by people, but you can also hate them in the same breath. And whoever no longer wanted her around or wanted something about her did this because of vigilance. And that's all that's coming towards. Now, because a masculine is here, he could have been involved. But it also just feels like a spirit that really trapped her mind and then took the soul. Because she was not able to think anymore. This fire, see how it's flaming down at the bottom really hot? But as it leads up, the flame, it doesn't feel as strong. It starts to turn blue a little bit. So what does that mean, please? She was bound to have this negative thing happen to her because of envy, because somebody was just jealous of this lady. That's just pretty much all there is to it. And honestly, bitterness can really trap you and get you dumbfounded, but this was something that they wanted her bound. They had to no longer have her around, because you couldn't have what those shows they used to come on VH1, Returning of the Stars. They had to, behind the scenes, behind the music, they had to go and tell their story. They didn't want none of that. So the only way to do this was to keep her completely secluded. Here's the blue again. Can we go forward with what this means on the Two of Bibles in this wand aspect? They planned this for a while on her demise. There's the Queen. They just really felt, one, they used her up. They got everything that they could possibly get from her in that feeling. And then they wanted to take because of this jealousy. Now we have two people just realizing now we have talent, and then we have superficiality. So this young lady didn't really have a chance because she chose the music industry, and I hate to be so abrupt, direct, and blatant. Nevertheless, this is what kind of the choice and the consequences of actions that you make. And this young lady was trapped by somebody who feels very masculine, very powerful, and has the ability to take life if they want to in some way. And this, unfortunately, she was a vibrant young lady. Her memories may not be as strong as it is in the States, here in the United States, but there is a land where they still listen to her open-heartedly. She was very charismatic, but they took that from her because they introduced something that she thought would be better, not only to take care of herself, her life, her family, but the future. It didn't turn out as she planned, obviously because somebody had stepped in and did something heinous to her in this energy, took from her, still to this day. When I say that there's snakes and people that are covered that we can't see, that is very true. And when I say there's an individual who was very jealous and also wanted the winning rule, they wanted her to be gone so they could just be focused on, this is true. But only because this is all money being involved. Who could balance a more evil scale? And she was so beaten down of what they did to her and introducing all these substances and drugs and reopening up a demon that was trapped already in her soul, that this really feels like after they knew the generosity was no more, they already started to balance by asking to write more songs, to do something more. They would promise to pay, and they never did what they were supposed to do in any way. Tear her with tattered clothes. They used her all the way to the end, and this is why we have this beheaded. Please, no disrespect. They really and truly were calculated and strategic with what they did. And by taking not only her soul, her rights, her money, her life, she would be out of the way, period. There's a plane flying by really low. It was all success because they wanted something to take off without the focus and vision of her, King of Wands, that she could no longer be trapped in the substance or come out recovered. There's the Queen of Swords. This is the honesty coming to you at this time through the cards, but these people were quick thinkers because they planned this all along. They do this to a lot of people. There's the fire and there's the cold. And I need, honestly, for her fans to really see that the innocence they took from this young lady, there was some sort of objective behind it. There may have been a welcoming, soft lady who seats with love, but it's really kind of one-sided. It doesn't open up to show love like it should blow in, like from a connection when you have blood. So this person may not be related to her, but there's a woman involved with more even heinous confinement. And I really... and this Cancer energy, this is a different feeling because she was never able really to pause and approach what she needed to do. It kind of was all negative because they just kept pumping. It's all negative because they just kept pumping things without her knowledge. And I feel like, yeah, that she knew and instructed what she was doing, but she was really trying to come out of some confinement, but they kept redirecting her focus. They kept taking control and not really letting her have her way to express her feelings through music. When she could perform or how much she had before she went on stage. They did a lot of things that she was trying to come out of, but there was always a little something. There was always something right in front of her or behind her that pulled on a heartstring or pulled on her focus. This was evil done to her, and this was all man behind it. But there is a seated woman that feels jealous and envious, and the man just got devoted to doing what needed to be done. There's the Three of Skulls. In the feelings, So you can not only understand this is a 3-party situation, but they no longer wanted her social, they wanted her soul. They wanted everything, and they watched her demise, and they could have gotten her help. And when they did, they took her in, and that's when they took the love that she does the most, the writing. They took her skill and kept it. And they have released it and given it to somebody else, but now we are running out of time. They don't have many tracks, songs, or inspiration left. Rest in peace to Amy Winehouse. Thank you for watching this video. Please, if you haven't already, hit the like or dislike button to help Witchy to get in the algorithm. And any other celebrity, creator, please feel free to gmail.com, or please reach out to us on our website and click the More Poo tab at any time.